Hey everybody, KC here. First of all, Happy New Year. We made it. It's 2021. So for my first FaceTime video of the new year, I was thinking, I gotta come up with something profound. I have to come up with something deep, something incredibly meaningful. But instead, I wanted to tell you about a scene from a movie that I happened to watch the other day. I was sitting on the couch. I had one dog here and another dog here, and I'm just sort of flipping around, and I came upon City Slickers. I hadn't seen City Slickers in a long, long time, and have fond memories of it. Funny movie. But as I came upon it, there was a scene in which Billy Crystal and Daniel Stern are riding their horses, and they're about to have what appears to be a deep and emotional philosophical discussion, because Mitch, played by Billy Crystal, says to Phil, played by Daniel Stern, goes, I understand it, I got it, I had the same problem, and Phil says, didn't you feel a little stupid, maybe a little inadequate? He goes, no, I learned to live with it, and I finally overcame it. And it ends up that what they're talking about is the fact that back in the day, if you were going to record on your VCR, video cassette recorder, you had to have the TV on channel 3, right? And there was this whole rigmarole about where you had to have it tuned into, and the fact that your VCR didn't have to be actually attached to a television to record, but of course it had to be attached to a television if you wanted to watch it. And then they started talking about, how do you set the time? Right, referring to all of us who, or many of us who actually, the TV would always be flashing 12 no matter what time it was. And the thing is, and I found it hysterically funny. The writing was great, the delivery was terrific, but what was really, really interesting about it is I realized as I'm watching this thing that unless you're of a certain age, right, you have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, VCR flashing 12, channel 3, what's that all about? And the fact of the matter is, obviously, in the period of time since City Slickers came out, technology has changed. How we interact with technology has changed. I was actually watching this on streaming. That's a really good business lesson to think about going forward into 2021, right? We can't be so rooted in the behavior of the past, in our opinions about the past, in our ways of doing business in the past, that we're not willing to change and adapt and evolve for the future. We have to realize that the language we speak has to be relevant and resonant to the people to whom we are speaking, not just to us. Sometimes people say, well, I expect them to meet me halfway. If your job is to be communicating a message, you can't just meet them halfway. Sometimes you have to go the whole way, because that's part of your job. So listen, that is the profound and wisdom with which I want to leave you with on this first business day of 2021, the importance of being connected and not being rooted in the past. There'll be a lot of lessons we'll learn this year. There'll be a lot of lessons that we take with us from 2020, but that's a pretty good place to start, I think. Anyway, that is what is on my mind this morning. And as always, today, every day, every year, I want to hear what's on your mind.